Remember I said we're under attack? There's a special relationship, folks, and this is what this presentation is truly all about, the special relationship between the people that serve you and the citizen. In order for this whole thing to work, according to Sir Robert Peel, we have to trust each other, we have to like each other, and we have to work with each other to keep our community safe. Anybody want to be a police officer anymore? Could be because of what we're doing to the men and women that wear a badge. Because I have police officers, folks, that have come up and said, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, boss. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. No one likes us. You know the biggest challenge for a CEO of a police agency is convincing the men and women that wear those badges that you care. That you care about them. Because when that bond's broken, bad things happen.
And the problem is, they're supposed to have some sort of marking, unless they're undercover, they're supposed to have some sort of marking saying what department they're with. So we've got all these law enforcement trucks back there with no markings from Washington State. So, I mean, if you don't want to have a conversation or listen, you can just ignore me. That's fine. You have a good day, sir.
Mark Gregory is the best person.
Yeah, well, Mark Gregory doesn't do anything. Neither did.
Thanks for checking out another Questionable Authority video. I got this footage a while back when I went to the Spokane County Sheriff's Training Center and found the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife had several unmarked law enforcement vehicles there. After a conversation about it with the training instructor for the Department of Fish and Wildlife, Deputy Humphrey decided to interact with me. I figured it was a good time to ask him to investigate these state-owned vehicles. I was not surprised to find out this order follower had no interest in serving a citizen like Ozzie implied cops are there for. Instead, he followed his training and then his orders. You'll see in the interaction to come. Before I move on, the footage you're viewing was taken back in early April. To see my interaction with the training instructor, the link is in the description. I have been getting some comments about me calling cops order followers from you guys. So this video is to highlight exactly what I mean. Without going into the background of this too much, in Washington State, RCW 46.08.65 requires that law enforcement patrol vehicles be marked in a certain fashion. As with any law drafted by well-seasoned rulers, there are loopholes to help those in power exploit those in servitude and remain the ruling class. I've read a lot about this issue and will be doing a video on unmarked cars in Washington State soon. I can comfortably say the attitude of law enforcement leadership in the state seems to be, yes, people slow down and stop violating victimless rules set up by the state when they see a marked car out on patrol. It just doesn't sting enough unless we extort money from them for those victimless crimes, which of course is much easier to do with these unmarked cars, which highlights another point many in leadership make. Breaking the laws we are supposed to uphold makes it easier to uphold those laws. Enough about that, and on to Deputy Humphrey. In response to a rising opposition from the community to these unmarked cars in Spokane County, Sheriff Knezovich decided to make use of one of those loopholes and shut the people raising their voices up for good. After an email sent out encouraging deputies to threaten people who questioned the cars with arrest turned out to be bad PR on Ozzie's part, he went to the county commissioners and asked them for permission to use the vehicles. Convinced this would help public safety numbers in the area and get them re-elected, the commissioners approved Sheriff Knezovich's request. Again, I'll do a video getting into all this soon. A link to the email is in the description. Since the commissioners did pass the law, Ozzie now instructs his deputies to forward any questions about unmarked cars to the sheriff's public information officer, who will explain how they asked permission and were granted the ability to break the law. He'll just leave out the part about it being easier to extort money from the public with those unmarked vehicles. When I asked Deputy Humphrey to look into the unmarked vehicles, he goes into order follower mode and refers me to the PIO. He doesn't think about the lot being filled with cop cars from different agencies, those agencies being from different cities, counties, and even states. Instead of taking 2 seconds to listen to my concern, he follows orders because he heard buzzwords. He's like a computer program. His training instincts kick in as well. Now that I'm bringing up this silly issue of cops breaking the law, he treats me like a lower class of human. Order followers like Humphrey have a disconnect with those they serve because of how he treats those of us who question things. It's not just him. They are trained and taught to think this way. As soon as Deputy Humphrey gets a chance to escape me questioning the status quo, he does. He tries his best to ignore the fact that I was expressing a concern and had a reason for being there. Then, when his fellow order follower comes over, I'm completely ignored. I mean, it is more important that they talk first, rather than listen to the concerns from a member of the public. Does that look like the trust and good relationship Ozzie talked about in the clips from the beginning? Gee, Ozzie, I wonder why cops aren't liked anymore. It's almost like cops think they're above us and treat us like crap. What do you think about Deputy Humphrey? How about how law enforcement are taught to treat those who don't just comply as a threat? Hit the like button and leave a comment. I always love to read what you think about the cops and my videos. How you doing? Nah. Is there something wrong if I was? Is it okay if I was? Yeah. Okay. Hey, well, since you're a sheriff's deputy here, there's some unmarked law enforcement vehicles down here that don't have any kind of markings at all.
Are you with any organization?
I'm a citizen just out here.
So the best person to ask about that is going to be our PIO.
Well, but I'm aware of the law, and the problem is there's absolutely no markings on. I understand your guys' process. I've read Ozzie's emails through the FOIA requests about how you guys are supposed to handle this. The problem is people are breaking the law. Law enforcement officers are breaking the law, and when citizens have issues with it, you guys refer us to the PIO. And what does that solve? Nothing, because the PIO says, well, we've gone and gotten special permission. And it's this back and forth. And the problem is they're supposed to have some sort of marking, unless they're undercover, they're supposed to have some sort of marking saying what department they're with. So we've got all these law enforcement trucks back there with no markings from Washington State. So, I mean, if you don't want to have a conversation and listen, you can just ignore me. That's fine. You have a good day, sir. Yeah, well, Mark Gregory doesn't do anything. Neither do any of you. So us citizens are going to start. Great. Great what we pay for. Great what we pay for. That's what you get here in Spokane County, people. Protect and serve. I'm sorry, but I just get at that. I mean, they're not even listening. Just comes up. He's supposed to be listening to me, and he comes up and just starts talking to somebody else in the middle of it. That's what my taxes are. Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked the video. I have more videos to come on Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich. I'm going to highlight how he uses his degree in marketing to sell the community on his corrupt tactics. These tactics need to be exposed. They breed mistrust and discontent among the people. With exposure, good people will demand accountability. Real accountability. Until then, blue privilege is alive and well. Don't forget to check out our channel on decentralized and uncensored platforms like BitChute and DTube. All the relevant links to questionable authority are in the description of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and share it with everyone you know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and follow us on Twitter for more questionable authority insight. Don't forget to always film the police. Arm yourself with knowledge, and of course, question everything.